All right, this has been on our books, so to speak, for a couple of days. Haven't really looked at it. Feel free to call in. We're rolling cameras on this particular segment, and those will be up later on YouTube and KLBJFM.com, the Dudley Bob section. And we hope someday in the near future we'll be able to do them live again. We hope. We'll see. Because it was hugely successful. You guys hit those a lot. We appreciate it. So, hi.
Hey there.
Hi later today. There's a record album thingamajig. What I meant to say was somebody at this website did the top 25 albums that don't have a bad song on the album, which is, nobody listens to an entire album anymore.
Right. I do, but
when you were a kid, you would listen to the thing front to back. When you got it, you'd save your money for it. So
I call a bad song a clunker.
It's Loudwire.
And these are rock albums.
Yeah, like I was telling Bob, one of the first albums I bought was Wings at the Speed of Sound or something like that, or whichever one had let them in. I don't remember. And I tried to listen to it the other day.
Speed of Sound.
I tried to listen to it the other day, and it got to Cook of the House.
Well, that was Linda's song.
It was terrible.
Terrible.
Yeah, so I can't think of. I'm going to get laughed at when I mention the one I think is solid all the way through.
It's funny you should bring up Paul McCartney because I think Band on the Run is one of those albums.
AC/DC Highway to Hell, they say. No weak songs on it.
I don't know enough about it.
Alice in Chains, Dirt.
I bet you there's a weak song on it.
Yeah, I bet I could argue with that one.
Magical Mystery Tour from the Beatles.
But why pick that of the Beatles song? I mean, like Abbey Road.
Maybe they.
Well, because
the Abbey Road may be on there.
Okay.
One person wrote it.
Sorry
probably.
about that.
Let's see here. Yeah, there's the whole Loudwire staff wrote it.
Okay.
All right.
100% agree with this one.
David Bowie, Ziggy Stardust.
I can track that album from start to finish. Good sequencing.
Okay, here's one I'll disagree with. Deep Purple, every song but Smoke on the Water.
Oh, when I go back to, I went there when I was in London. I went to that storefront on that street.
K West?
I looked it up. Yeah, that K West sign isn't there anymore. There's a cafe now with outdoor seating along that sidewalk.
What does the sign say now? Is it a young woman's Kendra Scott?
I was trying. I was like, where's he going? And then, yeah.
Anyway.
I forgot her name for a second. So
if you didn't know, new listeners, Bob dated Kendra Scott back in the day and dumped her. We just have to remind the listeners.
Yeah. No, you just have to remind me.
No, I really do think new listeners go, why do they keep bringing up Kendra Scott? And you got to keep them in the loop.
It's not even reminding him that he used to date her.
Is that what you're
I just want him to be reminded consistently that she's a billionaire.
Is that what you're wearing for headphones? You just got one earbud in?
Yeah, for the cameras, because I don't want the headphones to ruin this.
Are you kidding me?
I don't want it to.
What's wrong with you?
I don't want it to ruin this. I got my lighting.
We talked about.
I've got my lighting. I've got.
You're so vain.
Why?
You probably think
you
this
never
song
know
is
who's
about
watching this.
You probably
there
have
could
one.
Be a
you
Hollywood
probably have one
scout.
eye. You probably have one eye in the mirror as you watch yourself gavotte. I bet the girls. No, I don't think the girls always dream they'd be clouds in your coffee. I mean, seriously, dude. We've talked about how bad radio is when they don't show the truth with headphones on.
Yeah, but this works.
So you're on camera.
Yeah.
You no longer wear phones.
Right.
And you brought your own lighting.
LED lighting, yeah.
You brought an LED light.
And I've got my sponsors. Oh, I got to switch them out.
Heaven forbid.
I don't want to be outdone with his lighting, so I brought my own lighting today.
Heaven forbid Bob's ever in a nursing home. Can you imagine how hard he will struggle to look good in his bed?
What do you think? How do I look?
That's incredible.
All right.
What
do you think, Bob? Yeah?
It's a little hot.
Well, you got your lighting. I thought I'd bring my own.
Here, I'll just wear the scarf that I got with my bicycle helmet.
I don't know why you guys got to hate. You just got to look.
I don't hate anything.
You've been in movies. You've been in movies. You know you got to look good.
What's the reason for headphones in radio?
So you can monitor what's going on.
Right.
No, so you can look good.
So you can hear exactly how you sound.
I can hear everything.
Can you?
Yeah. Whisper something.
People don't like you.
All right.
People don't like Dale.
No, he said you. Here. All right.
Management doesn't know that you
If we're
exist.
this is the way I want to look on camera anyway. If you'll flip it over to me.
Ridiculous.
Here you go. Here's my new look. What do you think?
There.
I like it. So what are the 25 albums? I can't read it.
Deep Purple and Rock.
I don't. Who's making this list?
The Loudwire people.
It's a rock magazine. They're into like some classic album rock.
I'm going to give you Machine Head. I don't know anything about Deep Purple in rock.
No, I don't think that there's a Deep Purple album that is solid all the way
Machine
through.
Head is pretty solid if you look at the track.
Wait, and it may be on here.
The Deftones, White Pony. Okay, I give up. They're gonna list the Doors, and I'm sorry, but every song from
Punching
the
out,
Doors this week.
punching out.
Yeah. Call us if you have one to add, and we'll argue with you. Okay, I'm ready to be made fun of. Billy Joel's 52nd Street is solid all the way through.
Can you give me the track list on that?
On Billy Joel?
Yeah, I'm just curious.
I
might agree with you on that, but I think The Stranger is solid all the way through.
Yeah, but the 50.
I don't think we're going to see it in this list though because it's from a magazine that has the word "loud" in it.
Oh,
no, you won't see that on this list. But
it's more metal based.
The 52nd Street album he switched over to a more jazzy kind of thing, and you can laugh all I just said. Give me fun. A Big Shot, Honesty, My Life, Zanzibar, Stiletto is a great song.
Okay, but I don't know Zanzibar.
Huh?
I don't know Zanzibar. Oh, okay.
I don't believe it. No, that's not Zanzibar. Zanzibar is something else.
Until I don't know. There's about 3 songs on there I don't even know.
Yeah.
Great
album, tracks all the way.
Car
Doesn't remember it.
Zanzibar.
Okay.
Oh, he rhymes car with bar?
But don't you think
Rosalinda's Eyes, Half a Mile Away, Until the Night, and 52nd Street. Excellent album.
I know, but okay, maybe The Stranger's on there, but I would think The Stranger has more hits or more.
Until the Night belongs to lovers.
Do you know how hard it is to have a solo? I mean, what do they call it? A sophomore album.
Yeah.
Be as good as the first album.
Ask Dire Straits.
And I know that this wasn't his second album, and that neither was The Stranger, but this was the second album after he really hit it big.
Springsteen's second album was pretty damn good.
This is a song about Muhammad Ali. He hasn't lost his style.
Sounds a little like Copacabana.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I do know this song, though. I do know the song.
I know I'm not cool enough because
you didn't make the
for
list.
you guys because I didn't like because I liked Billy Joel when he was huge. I should have waited until Depeche Mode came along, or I should have magically in Tyler, Texas, been exposed to the Ramones. But when you go from the Carpenters, Billy Joel's pretty much heavy metal.
You would agree, though,
That's a good point.
Billy
It's a
Joel's
solid
best.
album.
You'd agree that Billy Joel's best album was "Innocent Man," though, right?
No, I'll tell you a great Billy Joel album that I don't think.
Are you not a fan of a mint called Stinson?
It's called Simpson.
Okay, sorry, whatever.
Stinson.
Simpson? Who knows?
Simpson,
I didn't
which
live
meant
at a time.
cinnamon.
I didn't live at a time when we sold mints like that.
Would you? No, everything went downhill after 52nd Street. But what was you? Yeah, you want to? There's something else I was going to talk about.
Depeche Mode? You want to talk about Depeche Mode?
No. I was going to say. So when he hit with The Stranger, he had done 3 or 4 albums. One of them was recorded too fast and it sounded like a chipmunk.
Oh, right, yeah.
So he went back and
heard about that.
He did an album called Songs in the Attic, and they're all live. And Miami 2013 on that album is absolutely incredible. And I don't even think you guys would make fun of Miami 2013 or 2017 or something.
Billy Joel's just fun to make fun of. I can get down. I mean, if I'm going to a karaoke bar, I'm definitely going to choose probably a Billy Joel song.
Yeah, he's great in concert too. But yeah, Songs from the Attic. Let's go back to the ones they're talking about here, and then we'll take some phone calls.
And then someday we ought to do a phone topic. What one song on an album ruins the whole album? One song.
Yeah.
Phone topic later today is nitpicking the world's worst humans. Tiny thing that makes people the worst humans.
Okay.
I have a great example.
Oh my God, I came up with one, and now I
one.
seem to have forgotten it. What the hell was it?
I
didn't write it down.
They say the Doors. No, I'm sorry, man. When you get older, the Doors just are silly. There's some good songs, but
I agree with the next one. I'm not a huge Fleetwood Mac
great
fan,
album,
but every
Great
song on
album.
that was a hit. Every
Great.
song was a hit.
Yeah, and you can't. You got to rest it a while, but when you hear it again, it's just so overplayed though. But
when
just
you
such a
read
great,
about this album,
and how much they hated each other.
well, when you have an album like Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon or Fleetwood Mac's Rumors, how it almost destroys a band when you have an album that good.
But
because the anticipation for the next album is so high,
Sure.
and the expectations from the record label
But
is
also,
so high that you can never match it.
yeah, and then
The bizarre thing about that album too is how you have a band that exists for like a decade.
Right.
They essentially bring on
new people.
two new
All right,
young
it's basically
small
a different
fries,
band.
change the band, and then change the trajectory in history forever.
Yeah,
for the band.
it was a artsy jazz jam band kind of thing with Peter Green. But then, and then I'll never forget they come out with Tusk, and it was just panned. Which
I know,
when you
but I
go
listen
back,
to it now,
when you
it's
listen
great.
to Tusk, it's good now.
It's really good now.
But the great thing about that was that Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks were breaking up, and they were writing mean songs to each other. You can go your own way.
Yeah.
Right.
Is him telling her, take a hike, B. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Full stop.
Hey, don't say B. We're trying to get female listeners.
Full stop. No
I
cap.
have no idea what I said.
Full stop.
Full stop, no cap, whatever. and then didn't she write one about him on that album?
Yeah.
Which was what?
Go after yourself, Lindsey Buckingham.
No, she had one. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm sorry, I'm out. This website, Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction. I just disagree. It's just not.
It's
a
not
good
a
band.
bad album. I mean, it's the one that had the hits.
Jimi Hendrix Experience. Are you experienced? Haven't heard the whole album. Can't comment.
I don't know if it.
King Crimson and the Court of the Crimson King.
Jesus Christ.
When are we going to get to stuff?
What do you call groups like King Crimson and
Boring?
And,
You
no,
look
progressive.
boring.
It's progressive
and,
rock.
And X and all these bands that bubbled under that they're cult bands.
Well, King Crimson is in the progressive rock, like
But I'm
Yes,
saying-
Genesis.
I'm saying-
Yeah, I wouldn't
They're
even.
in a
they're for the,
I understand
they're for the
X,
cool
television.
kids. They're for the cool kids.
Right.
For example, I love World Party, which is kind of the cool
Love 'em.
kids. Yeah.
Love that band.
Yeah, I love that band. So
But I will tell you that King Crimson, I've always said that 3 of the most boring hours of my life were ever a result because a guy said, I got an extra ticket to see something called King Crimson.
this one,
And I was like, never heard of it. He's like, it's guitars. It's awesome.
This
and I
won't
went, and
make
man, it was brutal.
This won't make somebody very happy out there, but some of the most boring concerts I've been to are Rush when they stop playing the hits.
Yeah, that shouldn't happen.
Led Zeppelin
Yeah,
4.
I think every song was a single, pretty much.
Nirvana, Nevermind.
Great album, still.
Pearl Jam, 10.
Yeah, listenable.
There's
We got in an argument with that guy a few weeks ago. Of course, Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon.
It's great.
Nothing weak on it at all. So
It's a good album.
Chewy can't join in. He doesn't know rock and roll.
Is this
Queens of the Stone Age. I don't know that record. OK Computer by Radiohead.
I like that album still. I know you're not supposed to. It's not cool to like, but I love it.
Rage Against the
I'll
Machine.
say Rages.
Rainbow Rising.
Every track. I mean, every track. Why don't I own it? If every
you know
track
what?
is it?
Can you do yourself a favor?
Yeah.
Put it on tonight when you go home.
Can you also do
Is this
yourself
Richie Blackmore?
could you do yourself a favor and realize that you're not the end all be all of what and neither am I of what records are popular or good. Rainbow's not your that's not your genre.
I've just never tracked Rainbow.
Well, Rainbow was
Richie Blackmore was in Deep Purple, right?
but
I like
Rainbow
Deep
was
Purple.
Rainbow was early metal is what Rainbow was.
Yeah. Also, how many tracks? 6. Not that hard.
Rolling Stones, Exile on Main Street.
Great album, but I bet there's a clunker
Oh,
on there
look,
somewhere.
Rush, Permanent Waves. 1980, Spirit of the Radio, Free Will. Love those songs. Soundgarden, Super Unknown.
Pretty good album.
Yes, I'd listen to this at home all the time.
But you didn't listen to Van Halen when it first came out, though, did you?
No,
No.
but I saw many Van Halen. I worked a lot of Van Halen shows.
Look at some of those tracks.
in the day.
Look at some of those tracks on that album.
Running with the
Ice
Devil.
Cream Man,
Talking About Love.
Eruption.
Maybe Hagar's next.
Talk about-
I will not sit here today.
You're trying to start a fight right now, Chewy.
Weezer, Blue Album. I know my nephews were way into Weezer. Who's Next? The
Yeah,
Who.
maybe.
Yeah.
These are albums that allegedly have no weak tracks on them. Behemoth, the Satanist. I got to tell you, they're right on this. It's one of my favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, when I'm going to listen to metal,
Right.
I want to
Make it
listen to the
Behemoth.
Satanist.
I was talking the other day about to somebody. I know that you guys are joking because you don't know this album, but it's very simply it's a vile masterpiece, and I'm going to tell you it's wicked, it's nefarious, it's a plunge into the war between heaven and hell, and from the iconic opening chords of "Blow Your Trumpets, Gabriel," Guys, to the relentless double kick attack at Oro Pro Nobis Lucifer.
Are you just reading what they wrote?
No, I'm talking from my heart right now about Behemoth.
Would you say it's a pivotal album?
Brian, give us an album that is solid on every track.
Peter Gabriel's third album, the Melt album,
Oh,
that has one of the most psychologically disturbing songs to start off with, and
it's called "Why Did I Leave Genesis?"
it actually
The second track is goddamn Phil Collins.
I didn't think he could pull it off.
The third
but he
track is
did.
really a drummer as the singer? Son of a bitch.
Fourth track is Abacab. Jesus, could you be any lazier?
Thanks for the setup, bro.
No, I haven't.
Sorry we effed up your dreams.
I couldn't disagree with you. I haven't listened to the whole thing, so thank you for the tip.
I like the cover.
Yeah, and some of these are great because I'll go to Apple. I got to find a way to listen to new stuff, and I haven't in a long time. Dave, give us one.
Yes, I'm not too sure if you guys would agree, but I say Hotel California by the Eagles.
Yeah.
They
Totally.
made a remake, Hell Freezes Over, so it had to be something.
Hell Freezes Over was the worst song they've ever done. That Hotel California album is solid all the way through, and the best track is the last one by Joe Walsh called "If You're in a Sad Mood and You Want to Wallow in It."
Pretty Maidens all in a row.
Pretty Maids all in a row. I love songs where somebody's calling up an old girlfriend, like England Dan and John Ford Coley. Hello, yeah, it's been a while. And that one with Joe Walsh, it's hi there, how are ya?
I will
it's been
say
a long time.
the
That's my Joe Walsh.
CD era
Thanks,
made
man.
it harder for bands to make an album that tracked all the way
Absolutely.
through. Because a regular
Absolutely.
album like
Had
what
an
you're talking about,
intermission.
20 minutes aside, 22 minutes
And you
aside.
also have a built-in intermission, so you can
Right.
completely change where you're going.
Right, but a CD now bands were cramming 60, 70 minutes of music on, so they were clunkers, stuff that wouldn't have made a
Way
vinyl
tougher
album.
to do. Way
Right.
tougher to do.
Nick, album that's solid all the way through. Be ready to
Okay,
be made fun of.
yeah. Love you guys. Love the show. I'm going to say what I'm going to say, and
Run away.
I'm going to jetpack out so that I don't get annihilated by everybody except for Matt Bearden. But Disintegration by The Cure.
I'm not gonna. I don't know Cure albums all the way through because I had a girlfriend that was into The Cure. I love the hits from The Cure. I've got nothing negative to say about
Here's
The
what's
Cure.
weird, because you said that I would be the only one to not attack you. I happen to think that Disintegration is the beginning of the full end for me. I just it doesn't.
What hit was on that one?
Everything that you probably know. That's where they got tons of radio play. They
Well,
got
that's your REM for me. You know,
Yeah.
I was into REM, Radio Free Europe, and Murmur. And then when they started getting hugely popular, I just went, these are terrible songs.
Yeah,
So-
but I really like the super sparse Cure from the beginning, the 17 Seconds and Boys Don't Cry and all that stuff. And the Disintegration, I mean, it's great. It's just that it's really well produced, and it wasn't as much fun for me anymore. Now, this is a great album.
Black Sabbath, Master of Reality is listed here. I have not listened to it.
Also, the Paranoid album from Sabbath is all the way through listenable.
Believe it or
100%.
not, I was a
Death?
Black Sabbath listener in high school.
Death by Human, or is it Human by Death?
It's Death is the artist.
This is really leaning toward heavy metal, though.
Well, it's
So
a
I
heavy
know.
metal website.
I've told this before. I got to tell you a little cute story. You got to understand. I come from small town, West and East Texas. I come from East Texas. I get my first job I worked at Top 40 Adult Contemporary. I got my first job at a rock station, KFMX, before I was here. 94 FMX, where Tahoka rocks, and love it. And I was working overnights, and I still believed in Sunday school, even though, always doubted it. And I'll never forget playing a track off this Ronnie James Dio album and being scared that I was going to go to hell off of Holy Diver. I can't say the whole album is solid because I wasn't into that kind of music, but I've heard nothing but great things about Ronnie James Dio. And, I think I'm confusing. This was one of the albums. The one I'm talking about is who did Number of the Beast? That was They Fly Their Own Airplane. What band is that?
Oh, with
Yeah, what band is that?
Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden.
That song, but the Dio too.
Holy Diver, I remember because a kid asked me one time if I wanted to leave school early because his house backed up to the school's elementary. I didn't realize that I was skipping school essentially. And then we played this album in his backyard and threw Chinese throwing stars against the fence. So I have some positive, very metal memories about that album.
Oh, they're going into a lot of
Boy,
metal.
they're going really deep into metal now.
There's an Iron Maiden album, Seventh.
I
Son of a
guarantee
Seventh
I
Son.
can find a clinker on every one of those.
Judas Priest, Painkiller, King Diamond.
They don't. They're not in like. Let me give you three examples.
No, with all due respect, sir. With all due respect, you and I both are not qualified to judge a metal album. Chuck would be.
Well, where is he?
Listening.
Chuck.
He's in the other room listening
Chuck
to Billy
would be,
Joel.
but we couldn't sit there. We haven't been into that genre. We couldn't sit there and tell you find a clunker.
Slayer Seasons in the Abyss should be in there.
By the way, somebody wants me to interview this dude tomorrow, and I don't. The lead singer of Jackal.
Why would we?
Yeah, why are you asking me that on camera where my face expressions can be seen?
Okay. I don't want. Well, I hate replying to people and telling them. I don't like turning people down. But is he also? I've heard the name before, but is he also Jesse James Dupree? All right. Okay. Yeah, these are all metal that they're getting into.
All right, I'm going to give you three
Megadeth.
good examples.
They just kind of gave up on all metal.
Hey, you're going way too fast.
Okay, there we go.
Display of power.
Pantera.
Uh-oh. We got into Queensryche.
Queensryche.
I agree with Pantera.
Sepultura.
There it is. Slayer Seasons in the Abyss, definitely. If it's metal.
Okay.
Sleep. If you want to listen to 1 hour, a good drone.
Suicidal Tendencies.
System of a
Down, Toxicity for sure.
And then Tool.
Well, let's take
Chuck,
some from
did you hear the call, Chuck?
Chuck.
They had Seasons in the Abyss.
They're saying that these albums are all killer.
No. This website,
no filler.
Loudwire, has got 25 albums that are solid all the way through. No clunkers, right?
Okay.
No clunkers.
And Bob,
How do you feel about King Diamond's Abigail?
And they start all of a sudden it goes from stuff we know like Deep Purple and starts getting into the heavy metal.
Because Loudwire is basically a metal website.
And Bob said, we get down here and Bob said, I promise you I could find clunkers on those albums. And I'm like, you and I are not qualified because we don't know what good metal sounds like. You know, I mean,
how do you pronounce that band? Gojira?
Gojira.
Gojira?
Gojira.
Did you notice how beforehand I asked?
Oh, should I have asked about the Fergus? So, would you? We all,
that's my favorite Maiden
okay, so
record.
is Iron Maiden Seventh Son of Seven Sons? Is that solid all the way through?
That is solid all the way through. And Bob, you would actually like that album.
I would.
I think you would enjoy that album.
Right.
That is one that you should check out for yourself.
Putting it on my playlist.
The
Bruce Dickinson on that?
Yes. Bruce
what
is on
about
that.
Judas Priest Painkiller?
Oh, such a great record, man. One of the best songs he ever did was Painkiller.
I think we're gonna hear Chuck go in his pants here.
Yeah, keep going closer to the top.
This is called core metal right here.
King Diamond Abigail.
Definitely on the top list right there.
King Diamond's the guy with the hat and the makeup.
Yeah. He played Fun.
Yeah, I remember.
Mastodon, Crack This Sky.
Definitely one of their
Crack This
opuses.
Sky.
Probably not my favorite Mastodon record, but through and through.
Megadeth, Rust in Peace.
I'm not a Megadeth fan, but that is their best record.
I like the title.
Metallica and Justice for All.
Okay,
I think
so
that's their best album.
that would be
Better than the Black Album?
Dude, you get a beef from any Metallica fan about that because that is the worst sounding album that they ever did, but the best record that they ever did.
Morbid Angel, Altars of Madness.
Such a phenomenal record.
Jesus, I need to just start listening to metal.
Now that is actual like true death metal. That is something that you probably wouldn't enjoy like straight out.
Yeah.
But Opeth Blackwater Park, like the one that you just scrolled past, that one, you might actually, there's a lot of death metal on it, but it's beautiful and it has a lot of good singing stuff in it.
Sepultura, Arise.
Oh,
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, No Control.
See, do you see this Sleep album here? I think that you should get really high and listen to that album.
Are those
So-
Jawas
I think
on the
you
cover?
would
Well,
enjoy
let's
yourself.
plug it. No Control Radio, Wind.
Saturday nights at midnight, right here on KLBJ.
And the HD channel is at what frequency?
93.3 HD3.
But don't change it right now.
So you can you can also listen to it on stream it on the KLBJ.
So
FM
Chuck
website.
will introduce you to all of this music on the weekends. Thank
I
you,
love
brother.
that 93.3, the repeater, That is a way to get whiplash, is to go from the 1 to the 3 on that. That is opposite ends of the spectrum.
The 1 to the 2 to the 3. I mean, like
What's at 2?
That's ACL.
All right, we got a break. Thank you, Chuck. We'll come back to your phone calls. We'll keep this going until the next phone topic. Joey, Jeremy, Brad, and Fred, everybody hang on. I'm back right after
I got QC.
these messages, and Bob's going to tell you about QC Kinetic.